Today we will do Lesson 9 Soil Explanation Part 2. Soil retains the highest amount of water and which retains the least amount. Can you suggest any method to let the rainwater percolate and reach the water underground? So these are the questions that you have to answer. अगर हमको पता है तो sandy soil का percolation rate सबसे ज़्यादा होता है. So next is your 9.7, that is soils and crops. Now in different types of soil different type of crops grow. Not all the crops grow in the same soil. मतलब हर crop को जो उगता है उसको उगाने के लिए एक अलग तरीके का सॉइल होता है. एक ही सॉइल में हर तरीके के क्रॉप्स नहीं उगते हैं. Different types of soils are found in different parts of India. In some parts there is clay soil, in some parts there is loamy soil, while in some parts there is sandy soil. In India only, if you go to different parts of our India, the soil is different in all the different areas of our country. Soil is affected by wind, rainfall, temperature, light, and humidity. There are some important climatic factors which affect the soil profile and bring changes in the soil structure. Now, as you all know, that soil is made by the rocks, which is affected by the wind, water, temperature, and everything is included. Entire atmosphere is included in affecting the soil. इसमें लाइट है, ह्यूमिडिटी है, विंड है, रेनफॉल है, टेम्परेचर, हर चीज़ का असर जो है सॉइल पर होता है. और ये फैक्टर्स जो क्लाइमेटिक फैक्टर्स होते हैं वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं और समटाइम्स इसकी वजह से जो सॉइल प्रोफाइल होता है उसमें बहुत सारे चेंजेस भी आ सकते हैं. इट चेंजेस द एंटायर सॉइल स्ट्रक्चर ऑल्सो. द क्लाइमेटिक फैक्टर्स एज वेल एज द components of the soil determines the various types of vegetation and crops that might grow in any region. और यही climatic conditions जो होते हैं factors होते हैं and as well as the components of the soil means what type of soil is maximum present in that area determines that which type of crop will grow in that area or what type of vegetation or flora or fauna will be there in that region. Clay and loamy soils are both suitable for growing cereals like wheat and gram. Such soils are good at retaining water. Now, clay soil and loamy soil both are good for suitable for growing the crops like wheat and gram. मतलब कि जो cereals उगाने के लिए जो है वो clay soil और loamy soil दोनों ही अच्छे होते हैं. और उस soil में क्या होता है कि water retaining capacity, that means they can hold the water for a longer period of time. कि वो जो है पानी जो मिट्टी जो है पानी को बहुत समय तक अपने अंदर रख सकती है, पानी तुरंत ड्राई नहीं होता है. फॉर पैडी सॉइल्स रिच इन क्ले एंड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर एंड हैविंग गुड कैपेसिटी टू रिटेन वाटर आर आइडियल. पैडी मीन्स जो चावल होते हैं. फॉर ग्रोइंग द राइस द सॉइल विच इज रिच. For rice, more water is needed, so the soil which has a high capacity to retain the water and which has a good organic matter present in it, that is very good for growing the paddy because it needs a lot of water also. For lentils, like masoor and other pulses, loamy soils such which drain water easily are required. For cotton, sandy soil, sandy and loamy or loam which can drain water easily. For growing the cotton, we need sandy soil, sandy loam or loam soil which can drain out water easily. Means too much of water is not required for growing the cotton crops, or sandy soil is suitable for growing the cotton crop. अगर ज़्यादा पानी होगा तो भी जो है वो पेड़ जो है हमारा कैसा हो जाएगा, अच्छे से ग्रो नहीं करेगा. और कम पानी होगा जहाँ पानी की ज़्यादा जैसे राइस है तो राइस में ज़्यादा पानी की ज़रूरत पड़ती है तो वहाँ पर वैसा सॉइल चाहिए जो इसमें पानी ज़्यादा देर तक रह सकता है. और कॉटन क्रॉप ऐसा है जिसमें हमको पानी की कम ज़रूरत है तो हमारे को सैंडी सॉइल जैसा सॉइल चाहिए जिसमें पानी तुरंत ही सूख जाए. तो इस तरीके से डिफरेंट क्रॉप्स को डिफरेंट टाइप के सॉइल की ज़रूरत. फॉर कॉटन, सैंडी लोम और लोम विच ड्रेन्स वाटर ईजीली and can hold plenty of air are more suitable. Crops such as wheat are grown in the fine clay soil because they are rich in humus and are very fertile. Now for the cotton crop, as you know that the sandy loamy mix or loamy soil is good, which can hold a plenty of air, not plenty of water, but which can hold a plenty of air, is more suitable to grow the cotton. Now the crops like wheat, which grows very good in the fine clay soil because it contains a lot of humus, which is very fertile, which makes the soil very fertile, and that is why the crops of the wheat grow nicely. A good quality of crop grows in that soil. Find from your teacher and parents and farmers that the type of soil and the crops grown in your area. Now, which kind of soil would be the most suitable for planting the rice? Soil with higher or lower rate of percolation. Yes, the soil with the lower rate of percolation will be a good for growing the paddy. Now, next topic is your soil erosion. Now, what is the meaning of soil erosion? Soil erosion means the removal of the top layer of soil by either because of the wind, water, or some any other reason, or because of the deforestation, cutting down of trees. The soil, the top layer of the soil is washed away. So that is called as the soil erosion. Now here, what is the difference between the rate of percolation and the rate and the amount of water retained? Bujo, you seem to have forgotten what you have read. So what is the difference between the rate of percolation and the amount of water retained? मतलब कितना पानी जो है एब्जॉर्ब किया और कितना पानी रिटेन किया. एब्जॉर्प्शन इज मोर कंपेयर टू द रिटेंशन. पानी होल्ड करना है वो दैट इज रिटेंशन, एंड एब्सॉर्ब करना मतलब कितना उस वक्त वो सोक कर लेता है, पर आफ्टर सम टाइम्स जो है इट इज़ नॉट नेसेसरी कि जितना पानी एब्सॉर्ब किया है वो सारा का सारा पानी एब्सॉर्ब ही रहे. इट इज़ नॉट नेसेसरी, इट विल नॉट रिटेन दैट सेम अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर. नाउ वी मूव ऑन टू सॉइल इरोशन. द रिमूवल ऑफ लैंड surface by water, wind, or ice is known as erosion. Plant Plant's root firmly bind the soil. In the absence of plants, soil becomes loose, so it can be moved by the wind and flowing water. Erosion of soil is more severe in the areas of little or no surface vegetation such as desert or bare lands. So cutting of trees and deforestation should be prevented, and effort should be made to increase the green areas. Now, how does the soil erosion takes place? As I said, because of the effect of wind, water, air, or ice. Even the ice, the erosion can take place because it washes away the soil. If the plants are there, then the roots of the plants will firmly bind the soil with the roots, and then the soil will not be washed away. The soil erosion is more in the areas where there is no vegetation. That means where there are no plants are there or very few plants are there. In those areas, the soil erosion is the most. So we should stop cutting down of trees, and if we have cut down, then in that we should plant some trees, and if the trees are not there, start planting the trees so that the soil erosion does not take place. एंड इट ऑल्सो क्लीन्स आर एनवायरनमेंट ऑल्सो. हमारा जो क्लाइमेट है उसके लिए भी बहुत अच्छा है. जितने ज़्यादा पेड़ लगेंगे उतना हमारा जो वातावरण है वो शुद्ध होगा. तो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पेड़ लगाए और सॉइल इरोशन को भी हम रोक सकते हैं. नाउ वी मूव ऑन टू द case history. Now in this case history, this is the case history of a Liladhar Dada named person who is a potter who is making the pots. Now he has taken some soil from the barren land. He has taken out the black soil. You might be knowing that the colors of the soil are also different. Red soil होता है, black soil होता है, तो वैसे ही brown soil होता है. तो ये जो है लीलाधर दादा ने ब्लैक कलर का सॉइल लिया है एक बैरन लैंड में से. बैरन लैंड मीन्स वेयर नो वेजिटेशन और प्लांटेशन इज डन, इट इज टोटली लेफ्ट आइडल लाइक दैट. मतलब जहाँ कोई भी पेड़ पौधे नहीं उगते, जहाँ कुछ उगता नहीं है, वो बिल्कुल बैरन लैंड होता है. उसमें से उन्होंने जो है ब्लैक सॉइल को लिया और उसके बाद उन्होंने उसके अंदर से जो ड्राई सॉइल है उसके अंदर से पत्थर या कंकड़ होते हैं वो सब निकाले और एक टैंक के अंदर डाला और उसके अंदर पानी डालकर 8 घंटे तक उस मिट्टी को भिगो के रखा। उसके बाद उसको अच्छे से नीड किया और उसके अंदर क्या मिलाया उन्होंने, जो है हॉर्स डंग, जैसे काव डंग होता है वैसे हॉर्स डंग होता है, उसको उसके अंदर मिक्स करके अच्छे से जो है उसको उन्होंने नीड किया उस मिट्टी को और उसमें से फिर पॉट्स बनाए। वो पॉट्स को पहले धूप पे सुखाने के लिए 2-3 दिन तक रखे जाते हैं और उसके बाद उसको हाई टेम्परेचर के अंदर बेक किए जाते हैं। एंड आफ्टर दैट दे आर पेंटेड एंड गिवन द कलरफुल डिजाइंस। And now, what is the use of the horse dung? Why the horse dung is mixed in the soil? The reason for that is that burnt horse dung जो होता है वो जो pores होते हैं मिट्टी के अंदर, जो soil के अंदर जो space होना चाहिए, aeration होना चाहिए, उसको वो help करता है, वो pores को open करता है, जिससे पानी का जो percolation होता है, मतलब जो पानी जो कोई भी vessel होता है, मटका है या सुराही है, any pot, so water जो है उसके अंदर से जो percolation होगा, which cools the water which is inside the pot. So that is very important for cooling the water. So that process is done with the help of the burnt horse dung, which opens the pores of that soil, जिससे कि वो वेसल बना हुआ है और उस वेसल के अंदर जो पोर्स ओपन होते हैं उससे जो है वाटर दैट इज फिल्ड इनसाइड द पॉट percolates out and which cools the water inside the pot. So this is the way how the potter makes the pot which cools the water so nicely. Now, dear children, with this we come to the end of this lesson, but here are certain keywords that you have to write. Those keywords you will write it in your notebook, classwork one time and homework one time. Clay, humus, loamy, percolation, moisture, sandy, and water retention is there. Now, next is the exercise that you have to do. In this exercise, first is your MCQs. In addition to the rock particles, the soil contains air and water, water and plants, or minerals, organic matter, air and water. The third option is correct: minerals, organic matter, air and water. The water holding capacity is highest in the clay soil. That means it can retain hot water for a longer period of time. Then next is match the columns. A home of living organisms is your all kinds of soil. Upper layer of the soil, which is dark in color, sandy soil, large particles. Middle layer of the soil, that is your number 4. This is the last one, lesser amount of humus. Then clay soil, small particles and tightly packed. Now this, up to this you have to write MCQs to MCQs and match. You have to write it in your notebook one time, and along with this will be the exercise that will be given from the workbook. MCQ, blanks, match, true and false, and the short answers. Everything you have to write it in your notebook also one time. So dear children, we end up with lesson number 9, soil. Next turn we'll be taking the new lesson. Till then, bye bye and have a safe weekend. Bye.